my offer. It's up to him if he wants to take it.
I just don't understand why you speak as if Gladys doesn't know her own mind.
There's no reason to marry me unless the man's in love.
That sounds like a man who is smitten to me.
I know when you've set your mind on a thing, no one can stop you.
But what if success and money do not bring happiness?
Imagine the glittering facade of Newport's grandest ball cracking under the weight of hidden truths, where one woman's heart hangs in the balance. Will Peggy Scott walk away alone, her dreams shattered by the cruel judgments of society, or will love defy the odds in a world built on power and betrayal? The Gilded Age. Season 3 finale, My Mind is Made Up, delivers a night that changes everything, peeling back the layers of silk and secrets to reveal the raw emotions pulsing beneath. In the tense opening moments, the Russell household is thrown into chaos as George clings to life after the shocking shooting that ended the previous episode. Blood stains the elegant floors, and Bertha's iron will is tested like never before. She rushes to his side, her face a mask of fear and determination, insisting on bringing him home rather than risking a hospital full of germs and uncertainty. It's here that Peggy's world collides with the Russells in a way no one saw coming. Her suitor, Dr. William Kirkland, steps up as the unlikely hero. With steady hands and quick thinking, he performs emergency surgery right there in the mansion, assisted by a surprising ally, Marion Brooke, who holds her nerve amid the blood and panic. As the bullet is removed and George's vital signs stabilize, relief washes over everyone, but the air remains thick with unspoken questions. Has this brush with death mended the rift between Bertha and George, or merely delayed the storm brewing in their marriage? Bertha, ever the strategist, contemplates canceling her much-anticipated Newport ball, the crowning event of the season meant to solidify her place among the elite. Yet George, from his sickbed, urges her to push forward, whispering that nothing should stand in her way, not even his near-fatal wound. His words carry a hint of bitterness, a subtle reminder of the secrets and defiances that have driven them apart. Meanwhile, across town, Peggy grapples with her own looming heartbreak. William, armed with the painful truths about her past, revealed by his meddling mother, confronts her in a quiet, charged moment. The conversation starts with hope. Peggy's eyes light up as she believes he's come to stand by her side, but it quickly spirals into doubt. William admits the revelations feel insurmountable, his voice cracking as he walks away, leaving Peggy devastated and questioning if love can ever triumph over society's rigid rules. Her mother, Dorothy, offers comfort, but the pain is palpable, a raw wound that echoes the losses Peggy has endured all season. Is this the end for them, or just another test in a relationship forged in resilience? As the city buzzes with preparations for the ball, other threads tighten. Gladys, now the Duchess, glows with a secret joy. She's expecting a child, a revelation that brings smiles, but also stirs underlying tensions. Her marriage to Hector seems solid, their dances and whispers at events painting a picture of contentment. Yet George later fumes, convinced Bertha manipulated the union for her own ambitions. He sees it as a betrayal of their daughter's happiness, igniting a fresh fire in their already fragile bond. Oscar, scheming as always, maneuvers behind the scenes to secure an invitation for the widowed Mrs. Winterton to Bertha's ball, leveraging his connections and promising favors. His motives are clear. Her fortune could be his ticket to independence, but inviting a woman with such scandalous rumors, whispers of foul play in her husband's death, risks Bertha's carefully curated guest list. Bertha relents, but not without calculating the potential fallout, her mind always several steps ahead in the game of social chess. In the Van Ryn household, Agnes and Ada navigate their evolving dynamic. Agnes, ever the pillar of tradition, advises Marion on her tangled romance with Larry, urging her to swallow her pride and admit fault. But it's Ada who quietly pulls strings, arranging for Agnes to receive a prestigious role as vice president of the New York Heritage Society. A move that softens Agnes and leads to a rare moment of gratitude. For once, Ada claims her place at the head of the table, symbolizing a shift in power between the sisters. Marion, still reeling from her fallout with Larry, pours out her regrets, but he remains guarded, his hurt evident in every word. Their paths cross at the Russell home during George's crisis, where Marion's bravery in assisting the surgery earns her quiet respect from Bertha, who had long viewed her with disdain. This act of heroism might just be the bridge to reconciliation, But as the ball approaches, uncertainty lingers. Will pride keep them apart, or will the night's magic heal old wounds? The elite black ball becomes a backdrop for more drama, where Peggy attends amid her turmoil, her poise hiding the storm inside. Dorothy confronts William's mother, Elizabeth, in a fiery exchange, calling out her cruelty and lack of grace. It's a satisfying stand, but Elizabeth remains unmoved, her judgments as unyielding as ever. William, torn between family loyalty and his heart, wrestles with his decision, his face etched with confusion. At the same event, tensions simmer, hinting at the larger fractures in society. Back with the servants, Jack's storyline simmers quietly. He's bought a house, but loneliness creeps in until Bridget arrives with lamb stew, their easy camaraderie suggesting a budding connection. Could this be their quiet, happily ever after, away from the upstairs glamour? As invitations go out for Bertha's grand affair, controversy brews. Bertha boldly includes divorced women like Aurora Fane and Charlotte Drayton, a move that challenges the old guard's rules and draws ire from Mrs. Astor, who deems it reckless folly. Charlotte defies her mother, attending anyway and sparking a heated argument where buried resentments surface. Mrs. Astor accuses Charlotte of ingratitude, but beneath it lies a mother's fear of losing control. The ball itself unfolds in opulent splendor, gowns swirling under chandeliers, but every smile hides a potential dagger. Bertha, resplendent in red and white, hosts with unshakable poise, even as George recovers nearby. Guests whisper about the inclusions, the air electric with anticipation. Oscar corners Mrs. Winterton, proposing a marriage of convenience, her status for his financial savvy, a cold calculation wrapped in charm. Gladys dances happily with Hector, her pregnancy a joyful secret adding warmth to the night. But for Peggy, the evening starts in shadows. She arrives composed but alone, her earlier rejection weighing heavy. Then, in a twist that catches everyone off guard, William appears, his resolve hardened. He seeks out Dorothy and Arthur first, humbly asking for Peggy's hand, then drops to one knee on the dance floor, vowing eternal commitment. The room holds its breath as Peggy, tears in her eyes, accepts, their engagement a beacon of hope amid the cynicism. Yet not all ends sweetly. Bertha and George's reunion at the ball is fleeting. The next morning, George's anger erupts over Gladys's marriage, accusing Bertha of sacrificing their daughter's freedom for social gain. Despite Gladys's assurances of happiness, he packs for New York, leaving Bertha stunned and their future uncertain. Marian and Larry, after heartfelt talks, rekindle their romance, his forgiveness melting the ice between them. Mrs. Astor's dramatic entrance steals the show. She arrives late, adorned in jewels, and in a poignant moment embraces Charlotte as her true daughter, mending their rift with tears and affirmations. The night closes on a mix of triumphs and loose ends, society forever altered by Bertha's bold choices. Power plays out in unexpected ways. Betrayals sting but lead to growth, and love, for some, conquers all. But as the lights dim, one can't help wondering, what price will Bertha pay for her ambitions? And will Peggy's joy last in a world so unforgiving? The Newport Ball's glittering facade barely conceals the cracks forming in every corner of the Gilded Age Season 3 finale. My mind is made up. The night pulses with secrets, and as champagne flows, the weight of choices threatens to unravel lives. Peggy's moment of triumph, William's heartfelt proposal on the dance floor, feels like a beacon of hope, but shadows loom. Will her newfound joy survive the harsh judgments of society? Across the ballroom, Bertha's calculated triumph as hostess masks a deeper turmoil, her marriage to George teetering on the edge. Every glance, every whispered word carries consequences, and this night is far from over. The ball's opulence is a battlefield of ambition and regret, where every guest plays a part in the unfolding drama. Bertha, radiant in her red and white gown, navigates the room with the precision of a general, but her eyes betray a flicker of unease. George, still weak from his ordeal, stands by her side, their public unity a carefully crafted illusion. Behind their smiles lies a chasm widened by his accusations about Gladys's marriage. The tension is palpable when George, in a rare moment of vulnerability, pulls Bertha aside to a quiet alcove. He admits his fear, not of death, but of losing her to her relentless pursuit of power. Bertha's response is measured, her words sharp yet laced with pain. She built this empire for them, not against him. But George's pride stings, and he warns her that their daughter's happiness isn't a pawn in her social chess game. The exchange ends unresolved, with Bertha returning to her guests, her smile a mask, while George retreats to the shadows, nursing his doubts. Their dance later in the evening is watched by all, but it feels more like a performance than a reconciliation. Is this the beginning of healing, or the final act of their unraveling? Meanwhile, Peggy's engagement to William sends ripples through the Black elite. Dorothy, overjoyed yet cautious, pulls Peggy aside to warn her, Elizabeth, William's mother, won't let this union pass without a fight. Sure enough, Elizabeth corners William in a secluded parlor, her voice low but venomous, accusing him of betraying their family's legacy. William, emboldened by love, stands his ground, declaring Peggy his future. The confrontation escalates until Dorothy intervenes, her calm but unyielding presence silencing Elizabeth's tirade. It's a moment of triumph for Dorothy, who has spent the season quietly enduring Elizabeth's slights. But Peggy, watching from a distance, feels the weight of her choice. She knows this engagement, though a victory, paints a target on her back in a society that rarely forgives defiance. Her quiet moment with William later, under the glow of lanterns, is tender but tinged with fear. Can their love withstand the storm that's coming? Across the room, Oscar's game with Mrs. Winterton takes a darker turn. His proposal of a strategic marriage was bold, but her response is chilling. She knows his reputation as a fortune hunter and counters with an offer of her own. She'll consider his plan, but only if he helps her bury the rumors surrounding her husband's death. The implication is clear. There's more to her mourning than grief. Oscar, caught off guard, realizes he's wading into dangerous waters. Bertha, overhearing a fragment of their conversation, files it away, her mind already spinning new strategies. She allowed Mrs. Winterton's presence to keep Oscar indebted, but now she sees an opportunity to expose a scandal that could shift the social tides in her favor. Oscar's charm, usually his greatest asset, might just be his downfall if Bertha decides to play her hand. Gladys, radiant as the Duchess, dances with Hector, their connection undeniable. Yet whispers among the guests hint at doubts. Some believe her pregnancy was rushed to secure the marriage, a move orchestrated by Bertha. Gladys overhears these murmurs and confronts her mother in a rare moment of defiance. She insists her love for Hector is real, not a transaction, but Bertha's cryptic smile suggests she's not entirely innocent of manipulation. This exchange plants a seed of doubt in Gladys, who begins to question whether her happiness was her own choice or her mother's design. The tension between mother and daughter simmers, threatening to boil over as the night progresses. In the Van Ryn household's orbit, Marian and Larry's rekindled spark faces its own tests. After the surgery that saved George, Marian's courage earned her Bertha's respect, but Larry remains cautious. In a quiet moment by the ballroom's grand staircase, he confesses his hurt over her earlier distrust. Marian, tears in her eyes, admits she let pride cloud her judgment, and her vulnerability softens him. They share a tentative dance, their hands brushing with unspoken promises, but the weight of their past lingers. Agnes, watching from afar, nods approvingly. She's softened toward Larry, seeing his loyalty to George during the crisis. Ada, now stepping out of her sister's shadow, encourages Marian to seize this chance, her own newfound confidence radiating. Ada's role in the Heritage Society has given her purpose, and her subtle influence is reshaping the Van Ryn dynamic. But the night isn't without its surprises. Jack and Bridget, the quiet heroes of the servant class, steal a moment away from the chaos. Jack, emboldened by his new home purchase, confesses to Bridget that he sees a future with her. Her shy smile and playful nudge suggest she feels the same, their bond a rare, pure light in the tangled web of upstairs drama. Their story, though understated, offers a grounding contrast to the elite's scheming, a reminder that love can bloom even in the margins. The ball's energy shifts as Mrs. Astor's arrival commands attention. Her reconciliation with Charlotte, tearful in public, silences the room. It's a rare crack in her icy facade, but Charlotte's guarded expression hints at lingering wounds. Bertha, ever watchful, sees this as a chance to solidify her own position. Mrs. Astor's vulnerability could tip the scales in her favor. But the old guard isn't defeated yet. Aurora Fane, defying her own family's disapproval, dances with a new suitor. Her divorce no longer a shackle, but a badge of freedom. Her boldness inspires whispers, some admiring, some vicious. but she holds her head high, a symbol of the changing times. As the night deepens, Peggy faces a new challenge. A group of elite women, egged on by Elizabeth's subtle influence, corner her with veiled insults, questioning her place at the ball and her engagement's legitimacy. Peggy, drawing on her resilience, responds with grace but fire, her words cutting through their hypocrisy. The exchange catches Bertha's eye, and in a surprising move, she steps in, publicly praising Peggy's strength and welcoming her as a guest of honor. It's a calculated act. Bertha sees in Peggy a kindred spirit, someone who fights against the odds, but it also shifts the room's dynamics, forcing the naysayers to retreat. Peggy, though grateful, senses the weight of being a pawn in Bertha's larger game. The night builds toward a crescendo as George and Bertha share a final, private moment. He asks her directly, was the ball worth risking their family? Bertha, unflinching, admits she'd do it all again, but her voice wavers, betraying a flicker of doubt. George's silence speaks volumes. He's not ready to forgive, and as he walks away, the distance between them feels insurmountable. The ball continues, but the cracks in their empire are undeniable. Peggy, meanwhile, finds William again, and their shared glance holds a promise. They'll face the world together, no matter the cost. But as the music swells and the night nears its end, a shadow passes over Peggy's face. A letter, slipped to her by a servant, hints at a secret from William's past, one Elizabeth has kept hidden. The contents are unseen, but Peggy's trembling hands suggest it could unravel everything. The ball, for all its splendor, is a house of cards, and one wrong move could bring it crashing down. As the ball reaches its fevered peak, Peggy retreats to a quiet corner, her fingers trembling as she opens the letter. It's from Elizabeth, William's mother, and its words are a calculated dagger. A detailed account of William's brief engagement years ago abruptly ended when his fiancée vanished under murky circumstances. The implication is clear. Elizabeth accuses William of a scandal he's kept buried, painting him as untrustworthy. Peggy's breath catches, her mind racing with doubt, but her resolve hardens. She seeks William, finding him alone on the balcony, his face heavy with worry. When confronted, he admits the truth. The engagement ended because his fiancée chose another, leaving him humiliated but blameless. Peggy, her eyes searching his, sees the man who stood by her despite his mother's venom. In a moment of quiet defiance, she tears the letter to pieces, choosing trust over suspicion. Their embrace under the stars is a vow to face the world together, but Elizabeth's shadow looms. Her next move could be even crueler. Meanwhile, Bertha faces her own reckoning. George, unable to stomach her unrelenting ambition, confronts her one last time in the Russell Mansion study, away from prying eyes. His voice is low, raw. He loves her, but her obsession with power has fractured their family. Bertha for once falters, admitting she pushed Gladys into marriage to secure their legacy, not just for status. The confession shocks George, who sees not malice, but a desperate need to prove herself. He softens, offering a tentative hand, but insists they rebuild on honesty, not games. Bertha nods, tears glinting, but as he leaves for New York to clear his head, she's left wondering if their empire can survive this honesty. The ball, though, demands her return, and she sweeps back in, her poise unshaken, masking the cracks in her heart. Oscar's gamble with Mrs. Winterton unravels spectacularly. Her cryptic demand for his help in quashing rumors about her husband's death was a trap. She's gathered evidence of Oscar's shady financial dealings, threatening to expose him unless he backs off. Cornered, Oscar tries to charm his way out, but Bertha, ever the predator, senses weakness. She confronts Mrs. Winterton publicly, veiled in politeness, hinting at the rumors with just enough precision to unsettle the widow. The room buzzes as Mrs. Winterton flees, her reputation teetering. Oscar, humiliated, realizes Bertha played him, using his scheme to cement her own dominance. His retreat from the ball is a silent admission of defeat, but his scheming eyes suggest he's not done yet. Gladys, radiant yet troubled, pulls Hector aside to confess her fears. Was their love orchestrated by her mother? Hector, steady and sincere, reassures her, sharing a memory of their first meeting, untainted by Bertha's influence. His words ground her, and their dance becomes a quiet rebellion against the whispers, their unborn child a symbol of their shared future. But Gladys' glance at Bertha carries a new wariness. She's no longer the obedient daughter, and Bertha feels the shift. In the Van Ryn orbit, Marian and Larry find their footing. Their dance at the ball, filled with tentative smiles, evolves into a heartfelt promise by the night's end. Larry admits he feared losing her forever, and Marion, letting go of pride, vows to trust him. Their kiss, soft but certain, seals their reunion, earning a rare smile from Agnes, who's mellowed under Ada's influence. Ada herself shines, her Heritage Society role giving her a voice she's never had. She orchestrates a quiet moment where Agnes publicly praises Marion, a gesture that cements their family's new dynamic. Ada's transformation is complete. She's no longer the overshadowed sister, but a force of quiet strength. The servants' stories tie up with understated grace. Jack and Bridget, stealing glances amid the chaos, share a moment in the servants' quarters after the ball. Jack offers her a key to his new home, a shy proposal of a shared life. Bridget's laugh, warm and genuine, accepts without words, their bond a beacon of hope in a world of scheming. The Black Elite's ball, running parallel, sees Dorothy take center stage. She publicly calls out Elizabeth's cruelty, her speech a rallying cry for unity and resilience. The crowd applauds, and Peggy, watching her mother, feels pride swell. William, inspired, joins Dorothy, vowing to honor Peggy's strength. The moment is a triumph, but Elizabeth's icy glare promises retaliation. Mrs. Astor's night ends on a bittersweet note. Her reconciliation with Charlotte holds, but Charlotte sets boundaries, demanding respect as an equal. Mrs. Astor, humbled, agrees, their bond stronger, but forever changed. Aurora Fane, emboldened, leaves the ball with her suitor, her divorce a badge of liberation. As the final notes of music fade, Bertha stands alone, surveying her triumph. The ball has cemented her as a social titan, but at what cost? George's absence gnaws at her, and Gladys's newfound independence stings. Peggy, hand in hand with William, steps into an uncertain future, the letter's shadow lingering. Marion and Larry walk off together, their love rekindled but tested by time. The night has changed everything. Alliances forged, betrayals exposed, and hearts mended or broken. Yet as dawn breaks over Newport, a new question emerges. In a world ruled by power, can love and trust ever truly win? The Gilded Age's glittering surface hides scars that will shape its future, leaving us to wonder who will rise and who will fall when the next season dawns.